Good morning and welcome to Preparing to Survive and Thrive Homesteading channel with Charlie B. Today we are going to make chicken soup on our wood cook stove. And I'm going to be taking you on this journey. Now this is not going to be a big batch, so I won't be canning it. So here we go. Oh, before we start that, I want to let you know that this is the rest of the chicken that I used as when I baked the chicken. And then I made chicken Alfredo out of it, and now I'm making chicken soup. So that's 3 meals from one chicken that cost about maybe $8. It was a pretty nice sized chicken, and more than likely I picked it up when it was 33 to 50% off at Giant, because that's how I meat shop. So here we go. Hang on 1 minute. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little hot water to my pot. This might be about a cup, maybe not even a cup, but it's just enough, and I'll be adding water if I need more. It's just so I can get this chicken cooked down. So here's the chicken. It's yellow because I used turmeric in the seasoning, and turmeric is very good for inflammation. At least that's what I've read. And I've also heard that it's good for bringing down high blood pressure, but you also need to add some garlic and black pepper to it, which I do with everything. So we're just going to drop this in here. This has the skins. It has the drippings from the chicken when I made it. It's all going in here. This tea kettle's been on the stove, just slowly getting warm. So as you can see, I'm adding a little bit of water to that so I can rinse it out. Don't want any of this greatness to go to waste. Don't need it to go down the sink drain. And I'm even cleaning off the lid here because it has some of the broth that gelled, so that means that it has our collagen in it. And I'm going to let this slowly cook. I'm not worried about my stove boiling anything today. I just want it to slowly start cooking down. Move you a little bit so you can see. Got a leg in there, got a little bit of breast meat. There's not a whole lot of chicken here, and that's why I'm not making a big pot of it to can, but I might do a great big batch and can it this winter. It's still fall technically until somewhere around the 21st of December. So I'm gonna go get a lid, and we'll be back when we start adding some things and to see how the chicken is cooking down. I know you're hearing coughs in the background. That is not me. That is my daughter, and she is the reason I'm making chicken soup. She has a bug, and we're not sure what it is, and she's nowhere near the cooking. I'm keeping her out in the other part of the kitchen, and the living room and bedroom, and Lysoling everything. So in case you hear more coughing, you'll know what it is. We'll be back in a few. I'm going to go ahead and add enough water to pretty much cover the chicken now. This stove is really good for just simmering stuff all day long because it doesn't get super hot unless I start putting in smaller pieces of wood to get the temperature up. This is kind of like a crock pot for old timers, such as me. So we'll be back in a little bit. Well, this is what we ended up with. I've been adding more water to it. I deboned it, took out all the bones, and this is not all the meat from the chicken. Let me rephrase that. Maybe there wasn't enough meat, I felt, in order to have leftovers, so the weekend's coming and we want to be able to eat some soup, and especially with my daughter being sick, we need some extra. So I went ahead and pulled some chicken that I had frozen and put that in there. And when I did that, I realized when I freeze dried onions, carrots, and celery, I had some left. I actually had about a cup of each of them left. So I am going to be using these in the soup. They're still frozen, so they're going to cool it down quite a bit. So it's about a cup of each is my guesstimate. And now Rebecca didn't want noodle soup, chicken noodle soup, or even really chicken and rice soup. So what we're doing is corn. Now, this is my freeze-dried corn. It's really good tasting. It's like a snack when you eat it. So I'm using 2 cups of corn in here. Now, of course, freeze-dried corn is definitely going to suck up some of the water. And I'm going to start adding some seasoning to this, other than what was already on my chicken, which was salt and pepper and turmeric. Maybe I didn't say that right. And this was the pack of freeze-dried corn. I've got some thyme here, grown from the garden, my little garden out there, and I'm going to just, now this is seasoned to taste. I am probably just going to add a little bit more than a pinch. I'm saying, I should measure this, but like I said, I never do. I just do a couple pinches and put that in there. And as it cooks down, I'll taste it. If it doesn't feel like it has enough flavor, I will go ahead and add more. Our next item, we're going to use rosemary. Rosemary always looks like pine needles to me. So I got a little bit right here. Make sure I pull out any sticks that would be in there. I'm just going to smash these up a little bit. Some of them already fell in. It's all right. Rosemary is great. Big pieces or little pieces. I'm going to get a little bit more. I'll be honest, this not only tastes good, but it also makes the soup prettier. So with seasonings, just add to taste. And corn is soaking up the water. Now, when I freeze dried this corn, I found it on sale. And I bought it. It was well before before the garden came in. It was like in May. So it was on sale. I bought it and I freeze dried it. There might be a little video somewhere in my past videos about me doing it, or little shorts. So I'm going to let this simmer for a few more hours, and I'll be back to try it and taste it. I'm going to go ahead and add a little salt and pepper. Hello. Not too much salt. And a little bit of pepper. Okay, so the wood stove has been doing really well. It was actually up to 150 degrees when I started cooking this down, and it slowly went to just barely 130 at the moment. So I'm going to be sticking some smaller pieces of wood in here to get it back going so we can get this up to a good simmer. Not really a boil, but if it happens, that would be okay too. I'll be adding more water as we go, because the corn will definitely be absorbing some more because it's freeze dried. So we'll be back shortly. So like I said, I'm going to add some more wood to get this stove back up to 150 degrees so I can get a little bit of a boil going. And I am going to start with adding some smaller logs, the 2-inch rounds, and get those going really good. Now I will stack this thing up high. Got these going in here. So that should get it going pretty good. I'm not going to put this one in yet. I'm going to go get a bigger piece of the wood and get it ready to put in there before the smoke starts billowing out. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 pieces of the bigger pieces of wood in here. And if you can see that, you can see the smoke's coming out. So shut it off. I do have a skylight. I opened that up before I get going so the house does not get filled up with smoke. And we're just going to let that go and cook. Okay. So there's your glimpse of the wood stove and me loading it. We'll be back in a little bit, checking on the soup then. Okay, so what do we have here? Other than the chicken soup, I also did some rolls. Now, I didn't make these. I'm getting ready to put them in the oven as soon as it hits the correct temperature. I am doing these. These are just some dinner rolls. I picked them up at Giant. They're actually very good, and they do come in a pinch when you want rolls and you don't really have the time to make the bread. You just do this. So they're very good. I'm going to check the temperature here. It's at 350, maybe a little less, but that's all right. It should work out good. And my soup has just started boiling again because I let the temperature drop. And they're in the oven. So let's take a look at this soup here in a minute. Well, the soup is completely done, and I'm going to pull this off because it's boiling way too much. It's very good. I've tasted it. I added more salt, a little bit more garlic, and it's definitely ready to be put in a bowl and yum eaten up. It'll be nice, healthy, and hearty. And that's how I make my homemade chicken noodle soup. Well, no noodles, just chicken corn soup. So the rolls are done. I'm going to pull them out of the oven. You don't want them to burn. They're a little crispy. This oven is a little bit warmer than I had hoped. There they are. Get some butter on the tops of them and they will be good to go. Put them up here to cool for a little bit. So the rolls and the soup is done. Tastes amazing. So we'll be heating here in a few minutes as soon as I get the roll, some butter on top of the rolls and they cool down a little bit. Just want to say thank you for subscribing, and don't forget to subscribe, share, and send me a like. I'll be seeing you soon. Remember, chicken soup is very easy to make. Go for it. And thank you for following me on my journey. I'll be seeing you soon. Charlie B signing out.